In 2023, she was the people's princess, the face of every playlist and the cover of every magazine. By 2024, she was a defendant in multiple lawsuits and facing allegations that could end a career before it truly began. But we aren't just looking at hate comments or Twitter rumors here. We are looking at the legal documents and financial patterns that expose a much darker reality. It turns out that the sudden flop of Ice Spice might not be a lack of talent. It might be the result of a coordinated bridge-burning spree that has left her isolated, sued, and allegedly desperate for cash. The cracks first started showing with the numbers, specifically with the release of her track Baddie Baddie. Fans and analysts noticed something mathematically impossible. The video jumped from a meager 79,000 views to a staggering 6.7 million views in just 10 hours. While viral moments happen, the engagement didn't match. The likes were stuck at 26,000, while the views were in the millions.
Ice Spice is being accused of buying views for her Baddie Baddie music video. Now, I'm not saying it's true, but honestly, the views jumped up real quick. Mind you, even the audio is still sitting at only like 600,000. Even the likes are at 26,000 for this video. And everyone is in the comments, damn, you bought views?
A ratio that screams paid promo to anyone in the industry. It sparked a wave of speculation that labels were panic buying views to artificially prop up a dying hype train, trying to convince the world that the Munch era wasn't over. But as the internet argued over bots, a much more serious legal battle was brewing in the background. A wig company known as the Bella brand, reportedly linked to Allure by Bella, hit Ice Spice with a lawsuit claiming she ordered over 25 custom wigs for her Y2K tour, a haul worth over $50,000, and then simply ghosted on the bill. The owner claims they had a signed agreement and delivered the product, only for Ice's team to go silent when the invoice arrived.
Ice Spice then ran off on the wig plug. Apparently the Bella brand wig company is suing Ice Spice and her team for the 2024 Y2K tour. Apparently said that they successfully had an agreement with her and a contract signed to provide her over $50,000 worth of wigs. They're asking Ice Spice and her team to pay up to $100,000. And the owner from Bella brand is claiming that Ice Spice and her team would send multiple pictures of Nicki Minaj and saying, make this wig, do it with the bangs, like all that stuff. There's physical text of her asking to copy her style. So I wonder what the Bob's got to say about this. The owner said how this happened, which she did come out and say, you know, it was kind of dumb of her to do this, but it was a situation where she did make the wigs thinking that she would get some kind of promotion in return for the tour or some kind of recognition with a contract, but crickets. Also, when it came down for the money to pay for the 20 wigs I think she made for her, no money to be found. So she's suing her for $200,000. We'll see what the team has to say about that.
It paints a picture of an artist who believes she is too big to pay small business owners, expecting that the exposure of her wearing their product should be payment enough. But the most damaging part of this lawsuit wasn't the money. It was the text messages that were allegedly submitted as evidence. According to reports surrounding the wig dispute, the owner claims to have physical text messages where Ice Spice's team explicitly asks for wigs that copy Nicki Minaj's style. They allegedly sent photos of Nicki asking for the exact same bangs and cuts. This is a massive blow to her authentic Bronx image. While publicly she was navigating a complex relationship with Nicki, going from idol to collaborator to rival, privately, these texts suggest she was trying to clone the very woman she was supposedly replacing. It reinforces the industry whisper that she has no identity of her own, but rather one that is curated and assembled from the parts of other, more established artists. So why would a global superstar stiff a wig maker for $50,000 or refuse to feed her opening act? The answer might lie in the rich-broke phenomenon. While Ice Spice was being sued for unpaid bills, she was simultaneously posting videos of herself buying a $250,000 Richard Mille watch from Benny the Jeweler. This is a classic smoke and mirrors tactic used by artists who are cash poor but need to maintain the appearance of wealth to keep brand deals coming. They will spend $250,000 on a watch to flex on Instagram because that brings clout, but they won't pay the $50,000 vendor bill because that doesn't get likes. It suggests a financial house of cards where liquidity is low and priorities are completely backward. This pattern of using people and discarding them was corroborated by her own friend and tour opener, Cleotrapa. In a series of exposing videos, Cleotrapa revealed the nightmare behind the scenes of the tour. She alleged that despite being invited to open, she was denied basic necessities like food, forced to haul her own luggage, and even charged for her own hotel fees. Ice Spice allegedly made comments about Cleotrapa eating too much salad and treated her entourage with disdain. Cleo described the tour bus environment as dark energy, claiming Ice Spice seemingly wanted her to struggle. It wasn't just a bad boss moment, it was a mean girl power trip against the very people who were there to support her. While fans were debating view counts, a serious copyright lawsuit struck at the very foundation of her fame. A rapper named D. Chambers and his producer, Cass, filed a lawsuit alleging that Ice Spice's breakout hit In Ha Mood was a direct rip-off of their track, In That Mood. They claim the beat, the hook, the cadence, and even the narrative context were stolen. The lawsuit alleges that Ice's producer, Riot USA, likely heard their track on the radio or at a live show in New York before creating hers. If proven true, it implies that the song that solidified her status as a hitmaker wasn't a stroke of genius, but a stolen blueprint from an underground artist who didn't have the machine to fight back, until now. The final nail in the coffin was the numbers for her debut album, Y2K. Despite the massive push, the lawsuits, and the drama, the album sold a shocking 28,000 copies in its first week. To put that in perspective, for an artist with her level of marketing and playlisting, that is a catastrophic failure. It signaled that while people were interested in the gossip, they weren't buying the music. When you combine low sales with a reputation for not paying bills and mistreating peers, the industry doors start to close. You can survive a flop if people like you, but you cannot survive a flop when you have burned every bridge you crossed to get there. Ice Spice's rapid ascent felt like a fairy tale, but the descent looks like a caution tape. She alienated her day one fans with robotic music, angered the industry by allegedly stealing songs, and burned small businesses by refusing to pay her debts. The lawsuits are just the paperwork proving what many already suspected. The princess title was self-proclaimed, and the kingdom was built on credit. The question now isn't when the next hit is coming, it's whether the industry will even pick up the phone when she calls.